Who you surround yourself with shapes your future. Choose wisely because your destiny depends on it. In 2 Chronicles 20 and verse 35, Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, a godly man, made a critical mistake. He joined himself to Ahaziah, the king of Israel, to build ships. The Bible tells us that Ahaziah did very wickedly. His actions were ungodly and below God's standard. And so God sent a prophet, Elijah, to Jehoshaphat with a stern warning, saying, because thou hast joined thyself to Ahaziah, the Lord has broken thy works. This teaches us that God is very particular about the people we surround ourselves with. A wise person once said, show me your friends and I will show you your future. In 1 Samuel 18 and verse 4, David, was chosen by God to be king, but that wasn't public knowledge yet. David had no experience with kingship or royalty, but in 1 Samuel 18 verse 4, David had a friend in Jonathan, the son of King Saul, a prince of Israel. And the Bible tells us that Jonathan stripped himself of his garment, his robe, his sword, his bow, even to his girdle, and gave it to David. That act wasn't just a gesture of friendship, it was beyond that. He went beyond that. It gave David a glimpse of what his future as king would look like. Jonathan, carried that royal presence. That influence began to rub off on David. The same is true for us. When we surround ourselves with godly and wise people, that wisdom and godliness begins to shape us. But when we surround ourselves with ungodly or destructive influence, we risk being drifted, or we risk drifting away from God. Jesus, who loves everyone, was very intentional about the people who he spent the most time with. He chose 12 disciples, people who he could mentor and who would eventually go on to be disciples of nations, to be around him. Why? Because Jesus understood this truth that, that he needed people, a close circle of people who aligned with his mission. That was very important to him. And the same goes for us. The people who we surround ourselves with, they shape our attitudes, our decisions, and even our growth. A wise saying goes, your tribe determines your vibe, and your vibe determines your future. The important question today is, ask yourself, who am I surrounding myself with? Are they leading me to Jesus, or are they pulling me away from Jesus? Do they carry the fruits of the Spirit? Gentleness, kindness, peacemakers. Do they have self-control? Are they able to control their ego, their pride, the lust of their flesh, their anger? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Choose wisely, because the future and destiny depends on it. Amen.